we created this culture of divorce, which meant there was sabotage and war and all this conflict and animosity. And a lot of the divorce attorneys were driving it.
Right. And the problem was that back then you didn't have social media to tell you.
To make awareness of what, yes.
Right. Or coaches to say, hey, listen, we can deal with this in a different way.
There are other options.
Into every fight. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
This is a historical perspective. Like, if we really zoom way out and look at 1969, which is when Reagan signed no-fault divorce into California, and then it kind of created a tidal wave. Every industry has a pendulum, and it has to swing, and it has to go through its process. And now we're at that process point where you and I get to step in and say, okay, I'm a child of divorce. I've also been through my own divorce. Now I'm remaking my life in a beautiful way. It's what everybody has dreamed about. You know, I actually was able to achieve it, but it wasn't easy. First, I had a lot of man in the mirror moments. I really investigated myself. I came forward with my true self, which was the person that we all try to kind of hide away into the closet. Just because the culture was taught to America that it had to be war and sabotage and a horrible experience to go through a divorce, everyone just started to believe that. But I think what you and I have done, which a lot of thought leaders have done throughout creation of our country and the world, is to say just because it's the norm doesn't mean it's right. And it's not right. The way that divorce has been handled to this point, the horrible, examples of co-parenting throughout those decades isn't right. And it doesn't have to be that way. Most people think it has to be that way, but it doesn't. Understanding that, who are you as a person? What did you bring to the table? What mistakes did you make in your own first marriage? I had that exact same experience. My dad also was my secondary parent. That's what was decided, right? So I saw him every other weekend and one night a week, and he, developed a new family, and that family was his preference. I was the outsider, and, I was made to feel like the outsider when I was there.
Oh, I remember that. I didn't even have a bedroom at my dad's house.
Me either. I begged. Thank you. Me too. Futon.
In the living room, no privacy. As a girl coming into puberty, my brother had a room. My stepbrother had a room. My dad and his new lady had and I just felt like it was such a horrible feeling. I know you understand, but yeah.
There are other careers, thank God we ended up in this one, right? And we're making lemonade out of our lemons of daddy issues. Not that my dad's a horrible person. My mom was alienating me, from him. And that resonated in my adult life and how I dealt with relationships, because I always, was missing my dad. I still miss him to this day.
My dad did not treat me well. I basically emancipated from him when I was just about 12. I haven't really spoken to him since then.
Wow. Yeah. I haven't spoken to my parents. It's only been a few years for me now. Unfortunately, there's just not enough growth in everyone to be able to get to that place. And so we have to just kind of maintain our distance. And so that results in me kind of walking around on this planet like an orphan, even though my parents are still alive. So it's a strange dynamic, What do you think is the best advice for the people who follow us and listen to us?
I think the best advice is, don't expect it to be easy. I get a lot of messages, oh, you make it look so easy, or, you're so lucky you ended up where you ended up. And that always rubs me the wrong way. I had to go through a lot of shit to get to where I am today. Yes, we know divorce is going to be hard, but life is hard. If you weren't going through a divorce, guaranteed there'd be something else in your life happening.
Amen.
That was difficult for you to process. I always talk about it in the terms of losing a job, right? Like, chances are you've lost a job in your life, or you're going to at some point. Does that mean you're just going to quit working forever? Or are you going to polish up your resume, work your ass off to make yourself look like this, deserving person of a career, and go out and try again? Yes, that's probably what you're going to do. So the same applies to your divorce. It's going to be hard. It's an unfortunate situation that's happened, but it is also an opportunity to move forward in a way that works best for you, to put your best foot forward, to honor what you did wrong and vow to not do it again. So if you're willing to do the hard work, you're going to get to a good place. Nothing good comes easy. Don't expect it to be easy. And if you feel like it's easier than you expected, then good for you. Then you're in a good place.
I love it. That's so on point. What better way to validate all of the struggles and the valleys that you had, but to get yourself to a mountain? because once you've gotten to the mountain, you didn't get there except for because of the valley that you were in. You had to be in a valley to get to the mountain. All right. Well, those are our tips. This is Michelle Dempsey here with us on Divorce Healthy. We're so glad you guys were able to join us, and we hope that the advice that we've given you today is going to help make this transition a little bit easier. We know that it's difficult, but it is not impossible by any stretch of the imagination, and we believe in you 100%. Have a wonderful day.